All right, day 16. We have a moon and two different witches. A variety of colors here, mica powders, and I forgot the brand name. I know what it is because I've been looking for each one of these colors to get in the large jars. And they're like 12 bucks a piece for large jars. And I'd rather pay out $12 for these big jars than so much money out for little things like this. And they're in these baggies. You can't do much with them because they're in baggies, and so they're going to spread mica everywhere. Sorry, my throat is just crud today. That's what I get for quitting drinking Pepsi. I did that the night of the 14th. Didn't have a Pepsi all day yesterday. My normal morning Pepsi did not have today either. So far, I'm doing good. Except my throat dries out tremendously. So I'll get a little froggier than normal. Anyway, my plan is I want to do both witches, but I don't think that's feasible with the size of everything. This witch has the traditional crooked nose, and of course, cat on the back. This witch has kind of a cuter face and the cat on the broomstick. It also has some detail marks in her hair and the broom. Well, I don't do well with details too much anymore because my eyes are, what they are. So I might go ahead and do her instead of this one. I'll do this one probably later. And what I'll do is I'll use some acrylic paint to fill in those right there. And then let it dry a little bit and then wipe it off on anything I got over on it. Okay, so what we have is papaya, dark scarlet, yellow gold, green pear dry, and dark purple. I do have other mica colors out, and I was looking, and I think this powder here is slightly darker. This one's got a more of a red tint, I think. They could be the same. Maybe it's the label that's throwing me off. They do look the same, but I want to use these up first. And yes, I've gone back to my original angle for this because it's a larger project and it's easier for me to do the ins and outs. That way I'm not worried about knocking my hand against anything. So this brand of resin I've been using, by the way, is called Yob Top, and it's actually pretty good. It's also a lower cost. So for those of us that have money issues a lot or most of the time, it's a good enough brand to use. I do have what's left of my J. Diction resin, home decor epoxy kit, casting and coating. But I'm saving that for a slightly different project. Okay, also, I am not going to coat these onto the molds. I'm going to sort of splash them in different areas because I do intend definitely for the moon to be glowing, and I want to try desperately, and I'll probably try it with glow powders or the glow paint, but I want the whole rim, the whole outer edge done so that it glows too and highlights the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to let you go for a second here and get my epoxy measured out, my gloves, of course, everything that I need, and I'll be right back. All right, I have everything measured, but not mixed yet because I'm pretty sure what I've got measured out is not going to manage to fill everything yet. So I'm just going to work real quick here on getting the powders in where I want them. And of course we go with the purple first. So basically, oops, there's a hair in there. I see you. How I see it, I don't know. But it's something black on the white. I don't see the white too well, but I can see dark things on the white. So we're just going to kind of dab it in different places. Like craters on the moon. Have you ever noticed that when you try not to make a pattern, you get a pattern? Got to see if I can get it down in there first, huh? Well, let's just put some there. Put a little bit more on this area. Okay, clean the brush. Close up this powder so I don't spill it. I decided not to use the papaya. Just didn't seem the right coloration or anything. Although I do like it. It's kind of a brightish orange. But that's more for like jack-o'-lanterns and things like that. Now some of these micas have a sparkle to them. Like this green pear dry. It does, sort of. Oh, do I want any more? Nah, I think that one's good. Remember, I'm just trying to go for a shadowing effect on the moon. And of course, a smidge of gold, and I do mean a smidge. So I'm just going to take it off the sides here. Okay, that'll do it. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and smidge up this way too. You can probably see that better than me. What I need to do is find a way to have a very large screen to watch with what I'm doing. So I've been looking at a new tablet, a Samsung. It's got a 14-inch screen. I have one with a 10-inch. But the more benefit of the larger one is that it actually can be purchased with a 1 terabyte storage. My biggest problem is I don't have $1,700. So after my eyes get fixed, maybe. But my priority is my eyes now. Okay. Now I had thought about doing some of the broom in gold. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, I think so. Because the witch itself is not going to glow. All right. Yeah, let's do that. Let me go ahead and turn the moon a little bit so it fits on the mat more. We'll put the witch right here in the middle. Now this was sold as a set, but there's no way, I mean, they don't have any little nibs inside to attach them. Oh, we got some sirens going. We've had a lot of problems with wildfires in Wyoming. We've never had this issue before, and it's not due to the weather. They want us to believe it, but we know better. I've lived here nearly 28 years. Never seen it, ever. We've had a couple here and there, but nothing to the degree that's going on right now. We haven't even had severe storms. So lightning would not be an issue. Somebody remind me. I'm going to go ahead and do this in here, not in the moon, right? Now what I could do is put you on pause and try to clean the powder off the ridges in here. And I think I'll do that. I'll go ahead and put you on pause, finish this out here, and then clean off the ridges. Okay, I did as well as I could with the broom. I've got this resin. I'm going to do 100, 200, and, oh no, hold on. 200, 360 milliliters. And that should do it. I'm not going to say it will. I say it should. I'll pour some of it into this cup here because the witch has got to go black. And I'll be using this one. It is supposed to be a solid color pigment. I used it the last time and it mostly went black, but you gotta use quite a bit of it, I think. And it kind of acts more like an alcohol ink, but it's not. So what I did was I already poured B into this cup and B into this cup. So I'm going to go ahead, and A is in this little one here and another one over there. I have them both separated so I don't screw that up. And I don't think you want to watch me mix, but I'll mix the first one real fast and I'll show you how I do it. You can watch other videos. I'll show you each time how I like to do it. It works best for me. You want to dump all of it that you can in at first. I do have my heat mat on and warming right now. And when your resin sits on your heat mat, it'll help warm it up enough to release bubbles. So you won't have as many. I do have a bubble removing machine, a resiner's one. I rarely use it. Sometimes you can tell that in my makes that I do, but for the most part, I don't end up with any bubbles. It's usually when the resin's not warm enough. Although you don't want it to get too warm because then you end up with the possibility of it curing too fast and a flash cure and all that jazz. Always remember where you're scraping off so that you don't put your hand there and that you can pour from that side. These cups I don't care about. They came with a kit or something like that. And, well, they don't have any markings on them. And I think they came with like a Resin Creek kit or something. Not sure anymore. I've had them a while, so I figured I might as well go ahead and use them up. Now I'm just going to set these cups aside as I empty them, because it's only got that part in it and I don't have to worry about it solidifying in my cup. The one you just saw me pour does have a B on it, but it is A in it because I cleaned out the cup to reuse it for this time around, because I did order some more of those 50 ml cups and even some 100 mils, but they have not arrived yet. And I did find out that Temu will be raising their prices. Some of you might have already seen that in the United States. And one of the other things that's happening with Temu and Shein and Alibaba and any other of the Chinese companies, apparently they've been skirting the United States laws on what can be imported into the U.S. And there's been some problems with some of their sellers selling products that have dangerous substances in them, such as lead, mercury, etc. And so since we've got tariffs on things coming in from China, there is that issue. We have our huge safety regulations, but for some reason our pharmaceuticals don't have that anymore, because they're allowed to push drugs on you that actually state may cause death, just for simple things like eczema or psoriasis. I don't like that kind of trade-off. But, so they're cracking down now, the U.S. is, on these things. And so they've even come to the point that, so that they cannot skirt the laws here for our chemicals and textiles and things like that, and what's allowed, what isn't, so that they can't skirt that anymore. What happens is the U.S. has been either going to, I just heard this news-wise, but they're going to start requiring for those companies to gather our Social Security numbers here in the United States. And no, I refuse. There won't be any more purchases from Temu. I've never purchased from Shein or Alibaba or any of those other places. Now, my bigger issue is Temu is a marketplace, and so is Shein and such. So is places like Walmart. Now, they stopped being just a store, and they're a marketplace. So is Amazon. So how do they control that? They're going to start asking the small businesses for Social Security numbers, including their own. So, I don't know, it's all become a mess. I think each country should do their own manufacturing of their own products. If there is a trade-off on some things, then yeah, strict rules and regulations must be adhered to. Because it's just for safety. Although the United States is odd because they worry about those kinds of things, but yet we have GMO foods here that we're not allowed to label as GMO. We have fake meats that we're not allowed to label as fake meats. Just, it's crazy. I don't know. It's just crazy. It's basically why I grow most of my food, and what I don't grow for myself, I buy from ranchers and farmers. Oh, wow, you're not even seeing any of this, are you? Anyways, yes, I prattled on, and I'm sorry, and forgot that I should check camera to see where I'm at in it. All right. Basically, it's simply scrape the sides as well as you can as you do this. The bottom, any cracks and crevices down below. And then in two different ways. I mean, you want to do it this way, scrape like that, and then you go the opposite way. So you just keep doing that until you don't see any streaks in your resin. Oh, I dripped some on myself. Let me take care of that real fast. since it's running down my fingers. Well, my gloves, but if you don't wipe it off immediately, what happens is you end up dragging it around everywhere. Everything you touch ends up with resin on it. So I purposely make sure I wipe it all off. I don't use alcohol to do the wiping. I just use baby wipes because alcohol weakens your gloves. And then because of that, the resin can get through to you at a microscopic level. So that's why I do this. Just clean it all off first. Okay, this one is mixed. So I'm going to go ahead and pause you. And I'll mix the other one. Well, actually, while I've got this one mixed, let's go ahead and get the black in to this cup over here. So we're going to take and pour from that area I wiped. I figure about that ought to do it. I purposely am making a lot because when I put the glow powder into the resin for the moon, I want to make sure that I fill up that skull. Yes, the skull. And I want it as black as I can get it. Well, we'll just use one of these. They are clean. They're just, I'm reusing them. No sense in waste, you know. Waste not, want not, etc. Let's see how black I can get this. Not very yet. I have black resin paste somewhere. I do. I don't know where it went to. So after Octoberween, I'm going to be redoing as much as I can. See, that's like an ink. It's not going dark or opaque. Let's see if that will help. But I'm going to go ahead and organize everything, find everything, get it all into the areas it needs to be. I used to have it that way once when I didn't have about $1 billion worth of stuff sitting around all the time. Okay. That's about as black as it's going to get. To make it opaque, I could put some black mica in here, but then you get that silvery look to it. Maybe with this in there, it won't do that. Or we could do this as well. We can add a little bit of acrylic paint. So I have black acrylic paint. I'm just going to drop it onto here. 1, 2. That should do that. Oh, that's a lot better. Much, much more opaque. Now, the reason why you can use acrylic paint in epoxy resin is that acrylic paint is actually also a polymer. So they kind of do mix. I was going to pour it in the other cup. Oh, no, no, no. That would have made me so sad. Oops. And I did find nubs in the witch. There's one right here, and there's one right back there. The black allowed me to see that. So let's get her all the way filled. Allow it to flow where it needs to go. Whoops. Boy, I'm just dropping it everywhere, aren't I? I do want it kind of domed, because if you dome it, there's less work that you have to do. I'm still working on those earrings to try to get the ridges down. All right, I'm just going to set that aside now and let it flow first. Find its way where it needs to go. Let me get that wiped off though. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put you on pause, get the other mixed up, and get the glow powder in it, I guess. Or I'll show you how much I put in. So I'll do that when I come back. All right. We have some of that. My gloves are getting a little gooey, so I'm being very careful about how I pick things up right now. And I do want a very large amount of this in here. If you ever put your stick that you're using for this kind of thing into your resin, do not dip it back into your resin paste. You can cause all kinds of curing problems that way. All right, I think that should be enough. I hope. Actually, I think I'm going to put just a little bit more. Okay, that should do it. I know I've seen a lot of people do that. They just dip in and then dip in again. And at least it would be good to wipe your stick before you do that, so that you're not really contaminating, but you will still, no matter what you're going to do, you're going to contaminate that way. You have to worry about that because you don't know if your resin paste that you purchased was made with part A or part B. Okay, I'm going to get this mixed up. I have to bring it to me because there's just no room. And yes, this one's going to be a little late itself, but there's nothing I can do about that today. I got some sleep. Not a lot, but I got some. Our little Salem decided to keep his mommy up for 4 hours playing. And he didn't want to stop. How I finally got my little bit of sleep was he likes me or Brian to walk him to the bathroom so that he could get his food and he can go potty in safety. Well, the other animals aren't picking on him anymore. They haven't for a while. I mean, they'll, warn him off once in a while, but that's as far as it goes. Now, I did not dump out the powder that was extra in here, the mica powder. Okay, let's see how far that's getting. Because I don't want to overflow everything. And I may end up having to get another mold out. Now I'm going to turn myself sideways a little bit so I can see where this is all at. Wow, this mold takes a lot. A heck of a lot. It's still leveling out. So we're going to dump a little bit more on. I'm going to watch it crest. That's all I'm going to do. I'm looking for low levels so that I go by the lowest level. Look, there's a hair. Where? Over there, in there. Okay. Sleep deprivation. Did I get that? Nope. Come back here. I think I got it that time. Oh, yeah, and because there's another one down at the other end. Drip, drip, drip. Okay, any more? I'm sure there are. Like that one there. If I can get the more noticeable ones, I'm actually fine. Oh, that's not a hair. That's, oh, yeah, it was. But this isn't a hair, this is the purple lifting. Okay, so from what I'm seeing right now, maybe just a hair more. Ha ha ha. Okay, that's that. So what we have left, we'll go into him. Now, if I have black left, I'll do something different with the black. And I will have some. She's almost topped all the way. Set that on just a napkin or something. Let's get the skull poured. And it looks like, yeah, he could use a really small amount more. All right, that's good to go. It will get its chance to be unmolded later, so I'm going to go ahead, put you on pause, and I'll be back when this is all cured up. I do have some stuff left over. I'll find a mold or two, and I'll throw it up here. Back soon. Okay, these are all done. I'll be back though. Hold on 1 second. Okay, now we're ready. Let's set him aside. Let's go for these auxiliaries. I had to find out if these molds were shiny or matte anyway, so from the looks of it, they are matte, and they did not. They're really rough. And the silicone is sticking to the pumpkin. I don't mind them being matte, but when the silicone removes with it, that's pretty bad. But it still turned out fine. I'll just remove the silicone. And I guess the more I use the mold, the better, but it's really rough. I mean, kind of sharp rough. Okay. It tells me something about these molds, which means this one's going to be matte and rough. And that's kind of upsetting to me, actually. I really wanted the shiny. Ouch! Oh, sorry. Boy, that thing is sharp. Also with this one, removing the silicone. Pieces of it coming off. So those really aren't good molds. We'll just put it right there, leave it in the light. Because yes, these clear looking ones are the ones that I used up the rest of the glow powder resin in. And these little molds here are really stiff. So they should take up a lot of abuse, making up tons of them. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. There we go. Oh good, nice and shiny. And slick. And no holes. Well, wait, maybe. Yep, one right there under the cheek. But I was in a hurry because it was already starting to thicken. So let's get this other one out. Ah, my goodness. There it goes. So we lucked out with this one maybe. Nope, there's another bubble right there on this side, the same side. All right, let's get this one out. Get rid of this spillover. Also, the black was getting very, very, very thick. So I'm expecting lots of holes in this one. Oh boy. There we go. Not too difficult if you pop it out like that. Well, that one's got a small hole in the same spot. Well, maybe it's just the mold. But he turned out kind of perfect. All right, all the skulls are done. Let's see how the witch turned out. We can pretty much know what the moon looks like. Now, as far as the glow on the glowing items, it's daylight, lots of sun right now. And I do want to get this posted as quick as possible. We'll find out what she looks like in a second. Let's go ahead and just remove the moon. Of course, there's hair in it. Well, not too bad. Hair, but no bubbles. Oh boy, I'm so happy. Okay, Miss Witch. Here we go. Oh, I do have to definitely put in some sort of definition. But the gold did really well. And it looks like I didn't do such a shabby job at getting the straw area is defined. I do see that the mold is as per Timu quality, not without Mars. So I will have to define her and the cat somehow. All right, that's day 16 out of the way. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it much. And Salem's sleeping. I'm leaving him there right now because my legs are sore. My hands are a little sore. And yeah, you can tell they're all sort of dug up. There's different little pieces of skin missing on my fingers. He loves that. And we did, I guess his sister did find the siblings to Salem. And we're thinking that maybe Salem needs a playmate so that my hands and my legs might be saved a little bit. Wow, this is wavy in here. Okay. But, so we're talking it over about getting one of the siblings. And, well, I promised somebody that if we got another cat, we would name it Monster. Okay, Lauren, I love you. So, yeah, we're probably getting another one. Oh, heck, I almost forgot. Let's get this skull done. Right? Of course, while I'm unmolding this, let's go ahead with the spiel. And thank you all for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment below. To all you people that are new here, thank you for stopping in. And you're going to watch me struggle with a lot of things. I'm going to set him down. I have had a couple new subscribers again, and I want to thank you for subscribing. And thank you to all my long-term subscribers. And thank you to everybody that leaves those comments. Those actually helped me a lot. Confidence-wise, the whole thing, you know. But it helps my channel as well. So maybe I'll get monetized and be able to get my eyeballs done. Oh my gosh. This guy's got a big head. I think I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Hope it doesn't rip. Hope I got an eyeball. I will take pictures of these, and I will put it on the community page, so you can see the glow, if there's any glow. Okay. I'm going to set him down for a second and get this mold turned back the right side out. Holy cow. There we are. Okay. One mold of the Hear No Evil done. That is so cool. It does have some sharp edges that I gotta trim off. He is nice and shiny. And no bubbles. Poke his eye, make sure. His nose. Wow, I'm impressed. But he's awesome. Let's see, does he hold tools? And if so, how tall? Well, not very well if they're tall. But I'm sure it can hold things like these in it. All right, anyway, and peace out. Love to all.